got an ASRock J5040 ITX board. If I would have looked more carefully into it, I might not have got it because it's missing a lot of stuff. But I noticed the processor, after I hooked it up to this little old case I had, it was processing pretty good. It only takes 8 gigs of RAM, but has room for 4 hard drives, 4 SATA devices. And I'm going to hook it up to an old case I got, an old Corsair case, and see how it works out. Here's the basic layout. If I go the right way with this camera, okay, you can see I got one of the ITXs in. You can tell by the filters they're all dirty, so it's an older case. And it's got the J5040 processor. I don't understand that too much because I'm not into the new processors. But that's what I got in there. It looks like so far it's operating pretty good. I threw a Windows 10 hard drive in there. My original plan was to put my old Windows 7 drive in there, but it won't go legacy at all. Okay? So the back looks like this. You have the RJ45. Underneath the RJ45 is 2 USB 2.0s. On this side is, you can see because they're colored blue, 2 USB 3.0s. HDMI, which I've used. DVI, which I used once or twice just to see if it worked. VGA, and old-fashioned PS2 adapters, in case you want to run that kind of stuff. Maybe an operating system that doesn't see what's going on. That's the back of it. I'm going to put a Wi-Fi module in it. I guess these holes are for, hopefully these holes are for me to screw an antenna in. No, each antenna. One here, one here. I'm hoping that's it. But it's a fun little motherboard. I think I could use that as a spare when the time comes. Because my real plan for this motherboard is to put it in the box and hold it in case I need it someday. But the Johnsbow I have has a i5 in it. I'll probably push that one to this case once I get my CWWK Radeon. So this is the BIOS screen in my ASRock J5040. If you notice, 8 gigs of RAM, 4 and 4. They say that's the max you can go on this particular processor. I heard otherwise, so I'm going to give it a shot. May or may not work. If it doesn't work, I'll just put something at the end of this part of the video in text, say it didn't work. And if it works, I'll just show the next section where it worked. But let me re-mention again, just in case you want to know. This thing doesn't do legacy, okay? Everything it does is new stuff, okay? Windows bootloaders, Debian, and all that, okay? But it will not do legacy for some reason. And I'm looking for a BIOS upgrade to make that happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. But it's really not going to hurt me except for that one Windows 7 drive I want to run. But I'll run that on my Johnsbow N3 because I got an i5 in there anyway, an old i5. All right. For my ASRock J5040, the maximum RAM is supposed to be 8 gigabytes. I've got that in there now. I got 2 4s from Samsung. But I'm going to give it a shot because I read on some other forum that you could possibly go to 16. We'll see what happens. I got the same kind of RAM that I got in there except double the size. So I'm going to start by putting a 1 8 gig in the slot, first slot. If I can see the 8 gigs and it operates, then I'll go ahead, put the other 8 gig in the other slot and see if it reads the whole 16. Not supposed to go that high, but I guess sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. But it's fun. I'll enjoy trying it out. Let's get that RAM in. Okay, there's the first stick of 8 gigs on my ASRock board, my J5040 board. If you notice, it's showing 1 8 gig RAM, and it's in single channel memory mode. Now we want to see when I put the other one in if it's going to work. And there it is, 16 gigs. I know it's reading it. I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but it does say dual channel memory mode, 8 gigs and 8 gigs. let's go all the way with this thing. Let's go ahead and go into the operating system. Okay, I'm in Windows now. I have this program called Specky that I called up. It's telling me about my Intel graphics, 16 gigs of RAM, the name of the motherboard, of course, what kind of graphics I got, and 16 gigs of RAM right there. So let's go ahead and... I don't have many things on this computer, so it's kind of hard to start any programs. So I'm not sure what I got. Let's see if I got... I'll just go with OBS just to see that it starts up. I know I can't do nothing on it. There she is, OBS. So it looks like this machine is going to work pretty good with these 16 gigs of RAM that it's not supposed to support. I'm happy. I hope you're happy. I read on one of the forums that my QNAP TS-453 Pro, which is supposed to have a max memory of 8 gigabytes, can use 16. So I'm going to give it a test. I got some RAM coming in. And if you notice where my mouse is, I hope it's showing my mouse. Sometimes this program I use doesn't show the mouse pointer. See, it says memory 8 gigs, 8 gigs usable. Okay? Sometimes they recognize more RAM, but they only use so much. So if it doesn't work, it might say 16 gigabytes here, but it might say 8 gigs usable here. Or it might just not work at all. Okay? So I usually use my QNAP only on the web interface, because I don't want plugs going in and out, wearing it out. This thing's almost 8 years old. I'm enjoying it. So let's see what happens when I put the RAM in. So as far as upgrading my TS-453 Pro, I never really thought about it. But one day I was on this forum. Actually, the other day I was on this forum when I was checking out about another motherboard I wanted to upgrade. And I noticed that this guy here, he calls himself Trex. Hope you can see my mouse pointer. So these are the DIMMs he used, probably SO-DIMMs, of course, for his T453 Pro upgrade that worked fine for upgrading it to 16 gigs. Now, I'm not exactly sure what he did, but I clicked on the link that he said he used, and there it is. It shows the last purchase I made because I just ordered them when I read that. So that's the kit that's coming in. If it worked with him, it should work for me. If not, free returns. But I'm hoping it's going to work. I'd like to see the machine would remove and run a little bit smoother than it does now, even though I'm satisfied with it. So let's see what happens. I'm going to put the RAM in now. Okay, this is the inside of my QNAP. You can see there's a plastic screen, and the RAM is behind it, so I have to change those 2 4 gigabyte RAMs out with 2 8 gigabyte. Okay, well, it says system's booting. I guess it'll do it. I'm not sure if it's going to be 8 or if it's going to be the whole 16. But that's the first step, is reading that display. So at least the machine's booting up. So after it's booted up, we'll see what happens. Then hopefully we're looking good. Okay, I got the QNAP all booted up. Let's see what it says. Control panel's already open. It says memory 16 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes usable. I like that. I hope it really works like that, because I'm hoping some things will get quicker than the others. Thanks for watching this video. Anyway, I want to thank the Trex guy for mentioning that and actually giving me the link to the RAM. It looks like it's actually going to work, and I'm happy. This is my second goodbye, so have a nice day again.